Long before time had a name, the first Spinjitzu master created Arcane Odyssey. But when he passed, a dark presence sought out to delay the update, Vtex Games. So I, Sensei Wu, his brother, sought out to restore peace within the community. Today's story begins about a month ago when Sensei Wu returned from the Bronze Sea. In order to save Arcane Odyssey, he needs to prepare for the full release update, which is set to drop before the end of 2025. What does the update add? Well, a lot. Sensei Wu's preparations for full release included a little list of goals. Some of these were incredibly easy to complete, while others ended up testing his skills and fortitude in ways previously unimaginable. I won't beat around the bush here. It was this goal that kicked my ass. Getting 1,000 Dark Sealed chests was so incredibly difficult, and here's how it all started. Sensei Wu makes landfall on Blackreach Island to set up an outpost. From this outpost is where most of the Darksea expeditions took place, but first we're headed to Fort Castrum. The reward for completing this fort is some chests that really aren't worth it, but that didn't stop Sensei Wu from using his old wooden staff to beat the snot out of the Revenants. The fight with General Valeri is nothing special either. Against a Spinjitzu master, none stand a chance. Pretty soon though, it's time for Sensei to head into the Dark Sea. Of course, I had done the Dark Sea before on another file, but as I'll soon find out, I had a lot to learn. On just this first expedition into the Dark Sea, I got attacked by 2 Atlantean brigs at the same time, and my boat got below 4 digits of health. It was a miracle that I even got out alive. I really hope that the Atlantean brigs don't become a big issue for me later in the Dark Sea. I made it back from this first expedition with all of my loot, and the Destiny's Bounty intact. Next, I'd like to introduce you all to Sensei Wu's newest arch rival, the notorious criminal Guy. Yeah, that's his name. Not really sure about that one. Sensei Wu did some guy hunting to increase his fame, and it went pretty well. The next Darksea expedition takes us going into the far reaches, which is an insanely bad idea considering how many Darksealed chests are in my boat. But Sensei Wu, there aren't any Darksealed chests on your boat. Well, if you didn't know, sealed chests can be stored in your ship's cargo hold. If your boat is ever sunk, they are all instantly lost. So you usually want to be very careful when going to the Dark Sea. Luckily, it paid off in my case, as no scary Atlantean boats spawned, and the very first Far Reaches island I checked had a golden brewing pot for me to brew a luck potion in. Nice! I headed back to the Insanity 1 range, which is optimal for farming, and completed this expedition with little issues. Aside from this one heavy Atlantean brig. Due to my close call earlier, I vowed to be super careful when fighting brigs, and the heavy brig is nowhere near fightable. This one would just not leave me alone. Every time I thought it had despawned or at least lost aggro, it would reappear and start blasting my boat. What a pain in the ass. Sensei Wu ended that Dark Sealed run with 240 chests in his boat. Not bad. From here on out, I stopped recording as much. Running the Dark Sea started to get really repetitive, and my computer was running out of storage space, but that's beside the point. Okay, so I'm still in the Dark Sea, but I wanted to share some tech that I discovered. I'm sure people know about this already, but I thought it was pretty cool. Where you jump, grab the wall, and you just have space and T. You go like this. Okay, I did it wrong. Hold on. Like that, pretty much. Dang, that is a fast way to scale the wall. Let me tell you what happened. Lightning struck my arm fell off. Oh, does this work? Oh, hey, it does. Ace. Motion to steal my handbag. After a lot of farming, I decided I had earned the opening of some of my Dark Sealed chests. I popped one of my luck 5 elixirs and opened all the Dark Sealed chests that I could with it. Selling all the loot from these chests got me 600,000 galleons, which was much more than I had ever had at any point. Immediately, the money got to Sensei Wu's head. I needed more. The greed caused me to get sloppy and start fighting Atlantean brigs again when I should have just been avoiding them. Some of you might be wondering, why do I need to avoid these brigs at all? Well, compared to Atlantean ketches, these brigs have 12 cannons per side as opposed to just 4. This alone makes their potential damage an incredible threat to my ship, and to top it off, brigs have a mortar, which basically has aimbot when it's controlled by the AI. Sensei Wu also decided to equip some light arcanium armor to protect him from losing limbs, because what your character wears as vanity affects this for whatever reason. I'm in the far reaches. Over there, if you can see the blue name tag, death. That is death. We don't go over there, but you see over there, salvation, that too. Yes! Now I can come here. 10. And then 2 Darksea Essential. Gilded Perfect Luck Aura Potion. Let's go. He then spent some time giving gifts to his deckhands to improve their loyalty before promptly speaking with the Warden of Shieldguard, asking her why this island doesn't have its own unique theme yet. Now, this wouldn't be a Sensei Wu video without some community service, now would it? This low-level player asked me for help defeating Lady Karina. Sensei Wu kindly obliged, helping them to defeat the boss. He then tipped me 10 galleons for my work, and I was on my way. Doesn't it feel great to help others? More dark sealed chests and more farming. This continued until a weird bug started affecting me one day. Randomly, my ship would despawn and my island would be unclaimed, exactly like if I left the server, except I was still in the server and my Wi-Fi was just fine. This was super obnoxious because it interrupted my Dark Sea runs and discouraged me to play at all. The first disconnect wasn't a huge deal, I lost maybe 10 chests, but the second one hurt, causing me to lose quite a few more.
That, bro? There's a natural disaster on my screen. What?
Eventually, I farmed my way up to about 700 chests before disaster struck. Unfortunately, I wasn't recording, but the greed that struck me earlier had finally caught up to me. While fighting an Atlantean brig, a series of bad events led to my brig getting sunk, with all 700 dark sealed chests inside of it. I was so close to my goal, only to be shot down right before getting there. Words cannot describe how frustrated I was. I wanted to give up, and it would be so easy to sell some of my limited seasonal items to get the money I wanted, instead of farming the Dark Sea. But then I thought back to my adventures as Sensei Wu. Was I really about to give up like this? Would I let this setback get in the way of me saving Arcane Odyssey? The community needs me, and I can't give up. So I did what one naturally does. I go to the far reaches. The riches here are beyond my wildest dreams. Unfortunately, I'm immediately reminded why you don't go to the far reaches. Yeah. Amazingly, it didn't take me too long to get back to 425 Dark Sealed chests, mostly because I formatted my expeditions into what I call 100s and 200s. It's a very simple naming process. 100s are expeditions where I count to 100 Dark Sealed chests and then sail back, grabbing extras on the way. 200s are the same thing, but I gather 200 chests. An average 100 took just shy of 2 hours, and a 200 would take 3.5 hours on a good day. Incredibly, Sensei Wu ran into another noble soul while in the Dark Sea. They met up and chatted briefly before wishing each other luck and sailing off. What a wholesome interaction. Up to 600 Dark Sealed chests. Unfortunately, this game's tricks aren't over just yet. After getting to 600 Dark Sealed chests, I was on another 200. Hopefully the last that I'd have to do, and this happened. Using my high agility, I did a high jump, and accidentally got myself stuck in the roof of this building. Unfortunately, because I was carrying a Dark Sealed chest, I couldn't put it down anywhere, and I couldn't move my character at all, because while you're carrying a Dark Sealed chest, you can't use shift lock, you can't dash midair, you can't do anything. I even made a ticket in the VTEX Games Discord server, and a moderator told me exactly what I thought. The sealed chests were not restorable because there was no proof that I had them. I wasn't recording the whole time, I only used my clipping software to capture the last minute of gameplay. Once again, I was crushed. This time, it wasn't even my fault. No greed or negligence led to this loss, just Roblox and its obnoxious physics engine. After another 100, I was up to just 743 Dark Sealed chests, then exactly 900, and finally, 1,000 Dark Sealed chests. This feeling was completely indescribable. I had not given up despite the game's best efforts and made it to my goal. For the final time, Sensei Wu put a Luck 5 effect on himself and ordered his crew to start unloading the Dark Sealed chests. The loot just piled up, and after selling everything, he was just over his goal of 2 million galleons. Exactly what he needed for Arcane Odyssey's full release. But what now? Well, Sensei Wu will get his clan to 10,000 infamy and finish preparing for full release, a process that will take no time at all after this monumental moment. He knew that if he could best the Dark Sea, he could overcome anything. Once again, Sensei Wu takes a seat on the docks of the Blackreach Island base, overlooking the crisp ocean sunrise. And again, he couldn't help but feel proud of what he's done.